Hello, in this video we're gonna check how to make a biped guide or biped template. By default, Gear is coming with one biped template that you can open from mGear guides and templates and import biped guide. That it's this one that I have open here. But let's say we want to create it from scratch, so we're gonna do it again. And we're gonna learn how to use the basic components that it's coming in the first version of mGear, and some of the little tricks and functionalities that we need to know in order to create a new template. So let's start. I'm gonna just create a new scene. Just gonna open here this so we have bigger space, and I'm gonna create first the base of the guide. So we're gonna use the control one. Control one, it's a simple controller. The two, it's with some options, but for the moment just create this one here, and we set properties. By default it's gonna say icon, it's cube, so we're gonna use square. In the future we're gonna have a drop down menu here, so we don't need to type here, but by default it's square, and you can check the models in the code. So, and the component name, it's gonna be local, and center, and we're gonna keep the rest of the options by default. So we have the first step. So let's create the let's say the center of geometry, or sorry, the gravity, that it's the like around the hips. So for this one I'm gonna use the control 2. So very important, right now we started creating the base structure, so we need to select in order to add to this structure. If we don't have anything select and I create the second control, it's gonna create a second structure. So that's the first thing we need to learn. We need to keep selection track. And if by any reason we mistake, like let's say control, and we have two structures now, since it's not the same name, we can reparent here, but sometimes it's slightly dangerous because maybe it's a name clash here or something, so it's better to avoid it. So just select here control, so it's gonna be control 1 0, sorry. Let's put around here, it's gonna be the base of the hip, so I'm gonna rename this one with the here, like center of gravity, for example. And now we're gonna start creating the legs. So let's go here, and we have the leg here, 2 joints, basic leg. So select and create one leg here. By default, all the components are created on the center, on the well, it's the root of each component that it's created in the center. Before in Softimage we used to have like a picking session, so it's a little more convenient for my taste. But right now we have all like parametric creation, so we need to replace or remove, sorry, not remove, translate on the right place each time. In the future I'm planning to create like a custom context, so we can have a pick session, but for the moment let's play with this. So we have here the leg, and this one it's a little more complex than the basics controls, because we have not only the root, but we have like 3 different positions that we need to set, and we have a line that help us to recognize the shape. Let's let me just hide the grid so we can see better. And okay, I'm gonna put it just back just to have the reference of the floor. But here we need to take in consideration a few things. First, the most important for the controllers is the position. So it's not important how it's rotated. However, the we can take the rotation as an advantage to plane or to place correctly the planes, because right now, for example, for the legs, let me open the Epic pen here. Yep. So for example, the leg, we have the leg placed here. This is the knee. and here to the ankle. So basically right now these three positions that we have here, it's creating like this kind of plane here. So it's marking that the knees, the bending direction of the knees will be this direction. So if we don't have in account this and we start to move this like this, probably the knees is gonna point out like a cowboy or something like that. So it's better to keep track of your planes, especially for the legs and the arms. However, if you have like doubts, or if you don't wonder how it's gonna generate, you can select always the root and build from selection. So that, since we don't take the full guide, we just take this root, it's gonna generate only the leg. So that is very convenient for debugging purposes. So we can quickly see here that our knees are pointing outside. So we don't want that. So let's delete this quick rig and just reset here. This, I use a shortcut that I replicated from Softimage, and I will share that shortcut soon. But basically what I'm doing is just go here and set this to 0 like this, and enter, and this to 1. But just for speed purposes, I map it in a shortcut or hotkey. In Maya it's hotkey. Yeah. Everything is slightly different, the name. Okay, so right now I have everything super flat. That it's not good either. We need to have always a little movement, a little bend here. So we define this plane. If we have completely flat like this, and we just generate again, build from selection. Okay, looks like it's building, but first thing we note, it's the up vector, it's in the center. This control, it's in the center, and probably I don't know where it's going. My leg, it's completely it's just it's not working. So let's place some space here. So we can use a little trick to preserve child transformation, so we avoid to move the childs and remove it after. So we have the legs, and this little position here, it's to mark where is the direction for the foot. So we can mark two directions: the foot direction and the leg itself. Okay, let's mark this back and just reset and boop, use it there. Okay, great. We have this. And let's put the foot, because this is the leg, it's not the foot, so we need to add the foot. So select here the ankle and create the foot again. Here it's a programmatic creation, not peak session. So number of joints that it's gonna have in the foot, how many splits we have, and the direction, it's negative. It's sit in positive, so it's to be clear, it's gonna be this direction here, and the spacing, it's 1. So it's this is 1, this is 1, this is 1. So this is gonna be the spacing. Okay, so let's create it, and we have here the spacing. Again, I just reset my position with my shortcut, and since it's already parent with the ankle, we have everything matching perfectly. And okay, let's put this. This is the objects that it's gonna define the banking of the foot. So oops, I'm just gonna put here this. Can select all at the same time. So place it on the 0 here. Maybe you want to use numerical values here, and this is gonna be the foot. So when we have the foot that it's walking, it's gonna bend in 2 positions. And later the banking, we can keep it there, or just for visual appealing, we can move it a little forward, so we make it match later with the maximum weight, weight of the foot. Okay, so far so good, but we're gonna check here the properties for the foot, because there is a new information here, very important in it. It's the connector. By default, we use always or almost always standard. It means that when we parent one object with the other, it's gonna the generation time, it's gonna execute a process to parent somehow the two objects. But in this case, we need a very special connection, because sometimes when the leg it's IK and we want the foot, it's following different than when it's FK, because the FK it's this direction and IK is this direction. So sometimes we want special connections, and this it's handled by special function on the framework. So because I don't want to mistake on this video, I just copied here this little reminder. So this is the connection name. Again, in the future it's gonna be a Dropbox here, so you can select it without typos or any kind of mistake. Okay, so far so good. I'm gonna also change the side. So very important, we need to change the side if we want to make it symmetrized, because duplicate symmetry is not gonna work if we don't have left or right side. Okay, for the moment that's all. I'm gonna do the same on the leg and apply. Okay, great. So we have the foot. We can check now if we can duplicate symmetry. So then it's working. And let's try what we have up to now. Boom. So it's generating this object with two legs. Right now everything it's moving together. I explain you later why. But it's basically the reference that we use in all these spaces. We can add more spaces later, but for the moment it's looking good. Okay, let's delete this. So as you can see, we're gonna regenerate the rig over and over, and we're gonna make a lot of iterations. This is very important when you rig, because iterations is the most important part when you place the all the structures, all the pivots and everything. I mean, it's very hard to place everything at once and that it's working. So what you want, it's just repeat until you get the perfect position for each articulation. Okay, let's just add this. So I take this one and I'm gonna create the spine. Yep, the spine is here. Again, reset the position. And here the spine, we have a new thing that it's this triangle here that it's called the blade. Let's see here, it's the blade. And this is helping to handle directions. For example, here on the legs, because we have these three positions that defines a plane, it's easier to define all the directions after. But here we don't have three positions, we only have two. So we need to create something else to help us to define the right or the orientation of the spine. So I'm gonna take this the root, and I want to just select. Okay, I'm just gonna scale like that the points of the root, so we can differentiate between the spine and the center of geometry. Oh, sorry, center of gravity. I still say in center of geometry. My bad, sorry. Okay, so this blade can be rotated, so we can define the rotation, but as soon as we move one of the elements, it's gonna pop back. So there is two ways to fix this thing, and it's related with the constraints that we are using, that aim constraint. So one, it's the recommended one, it's just take the blade, go to the channel box, check the aim constraint, and just move the offset here. That is not gonna pop. So I'm gonna just put -90 and we have it. So the other option is duplicate the object and rename it, but it's not recommendable. I mean, it's slightly slower, but if you don't want to navigate, it's up to you. Okay, so we have it, and now that we have this, I want to change again these two legs and make it child of the spine hip, because right now it's all child of the center of gravity, but it's not connected together. So this is very useful, because indeed we can change the parentings here very fast. Just select two objects, select this one, reparent, and it's done. You don't need to do any special magic or tricks when you change your mind when you construct your guides. So that's all. It's done. Okay, let's continue with the shoulder, and I select my hip here. Sorry, my chest position, and let's check shoulder. I should have one. Yeah, we have one. Again, it's in the center. Reset the position to place it back, and we have, again, let's put this here, and this orientation should be frontal. So again, we go here, channel, or let's do the duplicate thing just for the sake of the explanation. So I just move here, and if I move, it's gonna pop back. But if we just select this and duplicate, now obviously we have two shoulders. I'm gonna delete the old one, but this new one, what it just did, it's here on the aim constraint, just put the offset. As I tell you, it's not the most convenient way to do it, but you can do it if you want. Okay, so again, let's check the properties, and for the moment I'm gonna change the side to put left side, and very important, I'm gonna clean up my index, so I'm gonna put this 0, and shoulder by default is shoulder. So many of the components are named already with the specific functionality, like arm, spine, or leg, but some of them, like the controls or the chain, that it's a multi-purpose, so it's not, normally it's not correctly named, so you want to change it. Okay, select again this one and create the arm. We have here the arm, somewhere there in the floor. Again, reset, move. Normally the arm and the leg, you cannot see, it's almost straight, but it has a little offset here, a little space, so we can like you see, very small one, so we can generate without worry about the orientation of the elbow. Okay, so it's looking like a gorilla or something. It's quite ugly, the proportions, but I guess it's gonna be okay for this video. And okay, let's create the fingers. Great, fingers. I'm gonna use some tricks here. So first, I'm gonna use the chain, this one. The other one, it's similar, but with a spring, like to make like springy things, like, I don't know, tails or ears, whatever. So again, join number 3, direction X, and spacing 1. Okay, it's gonna be good for the moment. I'm just, again, reset to the position, and again I'm just gonna reparent here, so it's gonna move with the palm, and I'm just gonna place, this is gonna be my thumb, so I'm just gonna place like that and like that. And again, the blade is here, so when I close my fingers, it's gonna close in the right direction. Because if I take here, let's say here, obviously I have more than 3 points, so you can say, okay, why you don't take this and again take the 3 points here, 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 define the plane, the triangle plane, and okay, this is the right direction. Yeah, well, it's 2 reasons here. First one, it's chain can have only one position and the root, so you don't have the 3 positions if you select only one. And the second one, it's you want something that works over the whole chain. So you don't want to have its chain switching in one direction or another. So you have homogenic like axis orientation for each of these positions. So that's the reason, because we use the blade. So yep, close here. And now here we need to rename. I'm gonna put thumb here and center to left. Okay, by default I'm gonna check the mode, it's FK. We can select some other options. You can check this one by one later. And I'm gonna use a neutral pose, and I explain you. Oh, let's show it now, this thing. Okay, I'm gonna build just to check my fingers. So right now I check neutral pose. So each channel on the fingers, it's 0 out, but the fingers have slightly bending position. So that is a neutral position. If we select or uncheck neutral position, so let's here properties and uncheck. Yep. So we're gonna build back. Right now you can see it's not 0 out or position. The first one, it's always 0 out, but the next and next, it's not. Sometimes you want that just for keep clean the orientation when it's for the animators, but at the same time you want to have the ability to bend as a default binding position. So that's the reason, because it's there. It's you can use it as you wish. It's no any rules here, or maybe you should check with the animator, because sometimes they prefer one thing or the other. Okay, so I have the thumb, and I'm gonna duplicate this one time and just place it here. And I'm just gonna check here, because we have thumb and now the index is 1, so it's not clashing with the first thumb. So I want to use here finger, and oh, sorry, my Wacom. Okay, it looks like my Wacom gets stuck for a second. Okay, so apply again the index 0, and very important, I just almost forget, just always apply your changes just in case, so you ensure that it's gonna update correctly everything. And now just duplicate, it's duplicated there, and move, duplicate, move, duplicate, move. And here is a, oh my god, that's the most awful positions I ever did in a biped. But one thing, it's very important to remember, this duplicate function and this duplicate symmetry, it's not just duplicating the guide and creating like mirror or negative scaling or something. It's taking handling of some data. The most important, obviously, it's the naming conventions. Each time I duplicate, if I check my properties, it's changing the index, it's checking the left side, so we don't have clashing. And it's checking the information when we have related some other stuff inside that we will see later. So it's very important to use always duplicate and duplicate symmetry. You can do it by hand, it's up to you. I mean, the guide itself, it's nothing more than just a bunch of curves and some attributes, custom attributes. So you can do it by hand, obviously, but it's you're gonna make probably some human mistakes, and it's not gonna generate correctly. Okay, so far so good. Last time, okay, let's put the neck. Okay, again, it's in the center. So here on the neck, I'm just gonna explain a little bit the positions, because it's slightly more complex. So we have this one here that it's called, okay, just gonna use my little trick here, neck C0 neck. Yes, neck. And this is the position of the neck. The other one, just up here, it's the neck head. And these two are just the tangents for the neck. So it's very convenient to have when you have curved neck. And this one, it's just for the upper position. So let's again place our blade to, I think it's -90. Yes. Okay, again, my Wacom gets stuck. I think it's maybe because the recording. Not sure how long it's taking this video. Oh, 25 minutes already. My God. Sorry, guys. It's gonna take a few minutes more, and it's gonna be finished soon. Okay, so we have this. Great. Now I want to update some information on the foots and the hands. So I'm just gonna delete half, so I can resymmetrize later with the changes that I'm gonna make right now. So first I'm gonna go here and I want to set the two things, the UI host and the IK reference array and the app vector reference array. So what means that? Again, in the next release, I hope, or soon, it's gonna be like pick options here, Dropbox, drop down menus, everything will be super nice. Right now you just need to type it in a string with a certain way. So the UI host is where all your attributes for control your component, it's gonna be set. By default, it's gonna be on the global, but you can define another objects. For example, okay, let's say I want that it's child of the uncle, and it's gonna be another control here, and I'm gonna put it there, and this is gonna be called UI. I don't know. It can be any name. Like it's just gonna be UI foot, and I want to use left. Okay. So this, it's gonna hold all the attributes for the leg, and it's gonna be also moving together with the leg. So when we change IKFK, everything it's near handy. Okay, let's open again the properties, and okay, just gonna copy paste, Ctrl Z, and properties Ctrl V, and apply. So now when okay, I'm just gonna use this as a box. Okay, I'm gonna build this here. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just building the leg. You need to select all the guide right now. So build again. One thing about mGear is that it's really fast generating the rigs. It's about full, like this one, it says it's 5 seconds, almost 6 seconds. That's not bad. Okay, so right now we have this wonderful box here that it's named UI foot left control, and you can see that we have the basic, well, this is the transformation information, and then we have the leg and all the information for the leg, like IKFK, the rolling thing, and some other functions. So we're gonna make another video with a revision more in depth of each of these functions, but for the moment, let's say everything is okay, and just delete. Okay, so that's one thing that we need to know, and the other thing, it's the spaces. So for example, the arms or the legs, we need to set spaces. To do that, I'm just gonna open here my script editor, and I'm just gonna use this as my shortcut for editing names. So what I'm gonna do here, it's just copy for each part that I want to have the space. I'm just gonna use the spine. I mean, that's totally random, it's just for example purpose. So just gonna copy here and paste here just to have the reminder. Okay, so let's say it's enough. We can add as much as we want. Go here again, and we edit the properties for the leg, and we just need to copy here these two. So the way to copy or to place it, it's all together with a comma separated, just not spaces, nothing. So I'm gonna copy here and here and apply. And just for the demonstration, I want to put one more, and this is gonna be a little crazy. Let's see that if I put the reference of okay, this one, the shoulder tip. Okay, I'm gonna add as a reference properties here on the IK reference array. So comma and shoulder tip, apply. So, and why I do that? Because this, when I duplicate, it's gonna be center, center, and this is left. So let's see what happened when I duplicate symmetry. So let's duplicate symmetry, and here we have the properties, but check it out. The shoulder, now it's right. Obviously we don't have the right shoulder right now. We should have it, but it's automatically updating this thing, so we can duplicate symmetry with confidence, so we can have everything connected back. Okay, so I did something here. I'm not sure, but I wonder. Oh, we have shoulder one and no. Okay, I'm not sure what I did, but I thought I duplicated. Okay, anyway, select this, duplicate symmetry. Oh, it's not duplicating, and yeah, that's can symmetrize central. Yeah, I did one that it's central. Let me recheck my. I guess it's the arm. Yes, exactly. Left. Okay, so what I was saying before is you don't have left side, it's not gonna duplicate. Now, well, it's duplicated and everything is with the right naming, so we can be sure that everything is in the right place. Okay, so it's done. It's ready to generate the rig. So let's do it. Build from selection. We have here the login with all the steps it's doing. And done. Almost 12 seconds, not bad. And right now it's everything. You see now the foot is not moving, and we can move the hip and chest, and yeah, ready to go. Thank you for listening and see you in the next video. Bye bye.